All right, I gotta make this video because it's something that's bothering me. Well, not really bothering me, but something I just thought about. Here's some advice for anyone who is looking to hire. If you're going to use Upwork and hire designers or developers, um, here's what I recommend you do: get a pen and paste piece of paper, jot down your idea, write the features. You can do this on a Word doc. Um, Draw it out how you plan on what you envision this app to look like. Maybe some colors and maybe an idea for an app icon. The more you can give to a developer or a designer, the easier it is for them to kind of give you what you want, right? Uh, I'm going to make this video a little more specific about what I'm going through right now. When I go hire and find designers, it's kind of communicating to them how this thing works. So like, I go. This was a dev document that was given to developers so they can continue what I was working on. Um, and some of it, for the most part, I'm pretty sure this was pretty straightforward. This isn't the first time I ever done something like this. I've been putting stuff like this together since 2016, 2017 when I was building Verse, the first app I shipped out before knowing how to code. Um, and I thought it was pretty clear, but I realized like even the apps on the App Store, and I don't think they're some of them are downloading it and trying out the app themselves, is like kind of see how this thing is working. But man, it can be exhausting, kind of like over and over again trying to like get people to be on the same page as you, which is totally fine. It's part of the job. It's part of like communicating your vision to them. Um, and it's the one thing I realized, like another thing I realized is like, so I partially developed or designed some of these screens, right? They're a little all over the place because I wasn't fully sure how I wanted this app to be, but I knew what I was going to go into, what I was going to go do when I was coding it out. Like I was like, all right, I'm going to do this and that. Some things I glossed over to ship out quick. Some features I was like, I got to drop this because I don't even know if people are going to use it or if they're going to even want it, right? So these are some of the designs I put out, and I'm not a designer, but I'm moving forward. I definitely will be now. The biggest advice I got is if you are someone like me who is putting designs together, get a wireframe going. Like map out the flow of how this thing is going to work, and don't forget the little details like um, modal views or sheets. Sheets are like those things that pop up halfway. Uh, Sheets, Swift UI, um, little UI elements like colors and stuff like that. This stuff, these sheets that come up all the way or halfway. Thought this would be a GIF. Like I realized, like the designers are some of them are kind of struggling, or for two reasons. One, they don't have a wireframe to go off of, even though I kind of thought I mapped it out pretty well, and the app is on the App Store and they can literally go download it and use it. Um, but they still kind of mess up a little bit, which is totally fine. And I didn't expect them to get it right the first time. And I'm on a tight budget, so I can't pay them more to be like, all right, let's change this again. Let's do this again. Um, and also, what was the second thing? They don't have wireframes, and they oh, shoot, I forgot the rest. Oh, well, this isn't the one I forgot, but this is another important thing. The screen counts. Some of them go by how many screens you want. For the most part, they got it here. Like the onboarding, login, sign up is pretty simple. Uh, this homepage is actually different than how I envisioned it, but they got it. But little details like the swipe to delete, the little modal like confirmation stuff, like they got it. Even some of the stuff here isn't added. Uh, Folders, I don't even think they got to the folders. Yeah, there's no. Oh, they did. But one thing they forgot is like, yeah, you can move the folder, you can remove the pin, but when you add a pin, oh, I guess that's how they went about it. The idea was I was thinking it would be on the details view. So even like if you're working with someone like me, or you have to understand from their perspective. Sometimes they'll work with clients who don't know what they want, and I was one of those clients who I didn't know entirely what I wanted, and I mentioned it in this document that like, yo, there's some things I don't know what I want to do. I'm open to suggestions because they do this. But hey, uh, there's some tips like when you're hiring, look for someone with a portfolio. Look for someone who um, you can really like gauge their expertise, and just pick carefully. You might make a few mistakes. I know what to look for in a designer, and the designers I do know, I'm going to continue to like kind of work with them and build that relationship with them. And also, damn, it's 8:02. I gotta go. Uh, also, um, yeah, just make sure you can really communicate your idea very well. Even the little stuff, the little details, because that's what I'm finding out. Is like some of the stuff is being left out, and that's totally fine. But if I'm handing this off to a developer, um, they're gonna forget those things. So it needs to be fully thought out, which is another reason why I'm considering building my app my entirely myself instead of giving the code base to what I've already made and giving it to a developer, or rather give them certain features to work on and be like, yo, can you do the sign in with Apple and Google, and I'll focus on the rest. Yeah, so this is why I need to put some time into designing and stuff like that, and then maybe passing it over to a designer with the wireframes already thought out, and they can just enhance it. But you know, just certain things like that, and they're not knowing how many screens and the little stuff. Like, I mean, they did a pretty good job thinking about stuff like that. Even though got the paywall going, um, but yeah, they don't have my full vision, and that's why I need to be a designer and a developer, because I know exactly how this thing's supposed to look in my head, out there. So that's a skill I gotta like get better at. Uh, I think that's all I wanted to kind of make this little advice slash rant is you got to communicate your idea to a developer and designer, and that's something that's always frustrating. It's different if you're having someone code the app entirely from scratch. Like if you're giving this to an app studio, like when someone built Verse, I had it fully thought out. Oh my gosh, the document was huge, and they got it. They knew exactly how this thing was going to work, and they also did the designs and the coding, so they had a good idea, and they checked with me back and forth. Yeah, so that was different, but they got it, and you have to make sure you communicate that. There's a guy on YouTube who made a great video on how he's shipping apps. He's not a coder or a designer. Maybe he did some coding. Let me see, building a SaaS. He's on Twitter. He's making 40K a month. This guy, Steven Crovada. He's literally making videos about how to do it. And I'm like, yeah, that's basically what I was doing. Although there's some things I didn't do that I recommend you give it a shot. Although he'll talk about the design tournament thing, like this thing where like a bunch of designers design for you, and then you pick which one you want. I went on the 100 designs. I went on the site, and you need a lot of money, like 10K or 8K, to kind of start that thing. Uh, and designing isn't cheap. I'm even lucky to even get the designs I got, and the ones that someone else is working on for me. But yeah, man, it's something I gotta get good at and build, and eventually the apps will look better by the end of the day. Uh, it just has to work, solve a problem, and then people hopefully, if market it well and all that other stuff, they'll pay for it. All right, that's a quick video. I just wanted to give quick advice on my UI UX, finding a UI UX designer. If there's any talented designers out there who watch this video, comment, hit me up on Instagram, uh, just so I have someone to possibly reach out to in the future. Or be like, yo, I don't feel like designing this. You think you cook this up for me? Yeah, send your portfolio. And one thing I actually favor, this is the last thing I'll leave y'all with before it hits the 10-minute mark. There are two designers who I was up on Upwork, and what they did was they took two screens from my app, designed it, and sent it to me. They're like, here are two screens or one screen for free of how like I'm helping you with your app, and this is my version. This is my take on the designs based on your document, because this was like a public link. You could probably still find it, and they put something together for me, and I was like, wow, that's what I like to see is someone that because you've hired the wrong one. You don't know how they're going to design it, or what colors they choose, blah blah blah. But these were two people who were like, here's my take on your app, let me know if you want to continue. I didn't end up going with those people. I'm happy with the people I chose, but yeah, maybe that's something I'll put in a job posting, like, hey, pick like one or two screens, put something quick together, and send it to me. And maybe they won't, because maybe it's like working for free. So maybe keep it on one screen that you really want as like a application test thing, um, like part of the admission or whatever when they apply. But yeah, damn, this video went. I keep trying to make short videos, y'all, but I just be chatting. I gotta close all these tabs. All right, 10 minutes. I gotta go. Hopefully, I don't come up with something else last minute. But after this video, I'm going to start the learning, start the building, start the shipping, and then deciding what I'm going to do in December, whether it's building Mofu from scratch or doing something else. Stay tuned. The next videos probably won't come out till around Christmas, unless I want to rant again.